My creative learning journey. 1. Effective planning. I have constantly been improving my planning towards pieces of work. From not being very efficient and only relying on the information I was told into what I had to do, I now go out of my way to find all the work that needs to be submitted and create my own documentation to have it all listed as individual tasks in order to maximize my effectiveness. Documenting properly. Again, over university, I have had to constantly document work for my casebook. I used to follow a document which gave me a step-by-step guide into what should be included and what visuals need to be captured. Over time, I learned to do this naturally with every task and to do the same with collecting my visuals. Along with this, I carry out the reflective writing alongside. Refining writing skills. With the big writing projects every year, I believe my writing has improved dramatically since the start. From portraying information within the writing task to successfully structuring my work in a format that is easily understandable. This is a skill that is universally helpful and will assist me in all aspects of life. Organizational skills. I've developed a strong and effective system to organize my files. With the multiple years of work saved around, I needed to have a separation of it all. Along with the different modules, having every bit of work named and separated into its own specific area helped a huge amount with this. Not giving up. After experiencing the fallbacks of having done a task wrong or not up to expectation, giving up seems possible. Overcoming the feeling of wanting to leave it behind for a while or forever was difficult. Once that had been overpowered, it allowed for me to have a mindset of keep trying until it works. Learning how to model in Maya. Through using Maya as my main and favourite animation software for 3D throughout university, I have spent a lot of time scene building on it. I have wanted to improve my methods along the way, so I did a lot of research into the tools and technologies I could use for this. With this newfound knowledge, I was able to create a more efficient design for my work. Knowledge into texturing in Maya. I've also learned how to texture within Maya. This started out as only having a basic idea on the UV mapping and texturing tools within. After delving into the topic and experimenting a little bit, I picked up a lot of the features that make it easier for the user to carry out their tasks. With this, it has allowed me to have a much better skill set within the software. Learning rigging within Maya. I started rigging with no knowledge on the subject matter whatsoever. I dived into research so I could learn the basic principles of it. When starting to use the methods I had learned, I had a hard time with it as it was extremely difficult. With more and more practice, I picked up the skills a lot more and was able to create a working rig. Rendering professionally with Maya. For a lot of my projects, I only use Play Blast to showcase my animations. The quality of these would only reach so high and wouldn't be a nice up-to-date resolution. I wanted to find a fix for this and to create nice looking exports of my animations. I found out that using the rendering tab, I could modify the settings and render sequences which would give me shots. Proficient in Adobe. I have used this Adobe software for a lot of different tasks whilst at university. From my initial glances at the softwares, I was quite overrun with the number of features they had contained within. Over time and with experimentation, I learned quite a lot of the use for shortcuts and different technologies within the packages. Understanding production Bibles. I had the complete wrong idea about production Bibles until recently. I was creating them as a second casebook and would upload information alongside the visuals. This, however, wasn't the best method towards the creation. I learned that it was a visually heavy document with minimal sections of text to allow for breathing space for any audience. Knowledge on email formats. I was given an extremely valuable lesson on how to format emails properly, either to classmates or to industry. Allowing for a professional standard, I learnt the best way to phrase certain parts and how to address and sign an email so that it could be sent out to professional companies and businesses. Presenting digitally. A new experience that has been presented onto me. At first, it was difficult to get a hand of. With the timing differences and internet speeds, it can be quite tricky to know if the audience are hearing and seeing everything. A way around this, I found, is to go quite slow with the presentation so that with a bit of buffer, it can still be understandable. Building confidence. Over the years at university, I have also noticed my personal speaking has improved. It feels much more natural to speak to people than beforehand, and almost all prior worry has gone. This is a great skill for me to learn as it will help a lot in the real world of work. Getting used to group speaking. I have had a lot of practice now speaking in front of a group of people. From at university in my lectures or with the University Air Squadron, I believe I have improved a lot since my initial talks and a lot of the nervousness has left. that I felt before. Embracing feedback. My mindset has changed a lot since my first year at university. I used to think of feedback as annoying and extra work to do that could have been avoided. Now I understand it as improvements where I get the view from others as a chance to do better work. Feedback is there to help, and I now try and gather some with every chance I get. Briefing a team. Not too long ago, I had spoke to my helpers for the negotiated project module. They were students from different parts of the university who wanted to help on my project. I had to brief them with what I wanted them to do. I had to be informative as they needed exact explanations for a mutual understanding in order to create the work to the standard I had hoped for. Managing a team. I also had some experiences at managing a team, from being the head communicator to an industry. I have also had to man people to ensure they understand the work required and that they can complete it. A large amount of organisation is required also, as it prevents the team from getting confused and muddled up. Working with industry. I worked with a few people outside of university also the last couple of years, and it gave me a great insight into how working life will be like as an animator or creative. I learned organised workflows where I followed a select path to reach a desirable output. With these, it allowed for a professional practice when I do go out into the world of work. Maintaining fitness. I have carried out weekly routines for my fitness that have allowed for me to take a break from work. Consisting of training my body, I feel good once my weekday training is complete. This leads to a healthy mindset for me and improves the state of my work. The end.